Oh, I was going to link to the calendar because Janet's not here.
Can Doug do that?
He could, but.
Okay,
All right, we are live. We're plugged in. We're live. Diane's getting her microphone on. Good morning. Kim's here, and
morning,
Nona
everybody.
and Peggy's here from Ohio.
beautiful day in Iowa.
It is a good day.
Yes,
it's going to be
it's
80 degrees.
gorgeous.
It's going to be 80 degrees today, and we love it. There's Gloria, and here comes Penny. Although she came in once already today, but Penny's in again.
I'm in shipping.
Oh, she's a shipper today. She's got her packing material. We've got new product to show. We want to talk about what we did yesterday. We've got Diane's here with awesome projects. And if you caught the very beginning of her video, she brought in one of her little vignettes that she has for her garden theme. And let's see, it is 9:31.
Oh, yay, we're on time.
We're on time today.
Okay.
Chris said she made it to Iowa. Chris, yay! She's not close to Ankeny, but maybe you can come this way. And Loris is here from California, and Ruby, and Oshra.
Everybody's here.
Mary, Paula's watching. I believe Paula's local, and Chris is here from Iowa City. We got a lot of people watching, lots and lots. So what we should do maybe is show this. We have something special for you. Pat says she's very excited to see your stuff.
Oh,
Diane.
well, thank
We
you.
are too. We are too.
It was really a fun project.
Okay, if you joined us yesterday, we showed you the mini cinch bundle, and yes, we did sell out of those. We have more on order. It looks like it's going to be maybe 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks before we get more, but we're working to see if we can make that a little faster. I had no idea it was going to be so good until last Friday. Katie showed me how to work it.
Yeah,
I
it
was like,
was.
oh my gosh.
They sold me on it yesterday.
Yeah, Diane's getting one too.
And if you want one, just call us and we'll put you in the book.
We will. We have a lot coming. A lot more coming. We do have all the wires. So once you get your cinch, you're going to need a few more wires. And then we have what you call the multi-cinch. So we do have one of these, and it's normally $149.99. It's even a little heavier. This cinch is special because it's small, like the one we showed you yesterday, but you can change out the little punches that make the holes. So it comes with the little circle holes, little punch, and then it comes with the ones to do those discs, like these. The binding discs, those little, oops, oh, it's on the floor. Let me grab it. To do it cuts the little slots to do these too. But then what it also does is you have all these other ones. I don't know if you can just swing by there, Diane. It's got all the heart, the spiral, the Coptic, the square, and the band.
So it can do any of those different, I'm not sure what.
You switch
the
out.
band.
It does
see.
notches so you can put these bands
I
around.
see.
And here's the bands.
Say we did.
So if you want to use your
wow.
bands.
Okay.
And I will tell you that these items, we didn't show them yesterday, but all of these are 30% off. The extra punches for the multi-cinch and the bands, and then the multi-cinch itself. And you'll find it all online if you go to tools and then go to the cinch.
Okay, so these are the spiral wires.
I'm kind of excited to try
And
those.
what?
That's like a big box. This has got, I'll show it on
All
the
the
side. It's
wires?
got 6 of each
okay.
color. You have
Here
your
we go.
basic colors.
I wonder what
And they are, does it
size.
say what size they are?
I don't know if it does.
I'm sure it's online.
Okay.
Why does
Well,
it
you
not
get
say
a-
the
you
size?
get a
That's
lot.
so silly.
It's probably.
I wonder if you get multiple sizes. I don't know. You get 30 pieces, and I apologize. It's not telling us, but I'm pretty sure it says online.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got all of those. We're going to have more of the mini cinch bundles coming. In the meantime, moving on from cinch to Sizzix, we have a Big Shot
gotta have
Plus. We have the Big Shot Plus, which is just like the Big Shot, but it's bigger. And it is the manual machine that's got the crank, so you have some control over that. It's got the bigger
9-inch.
9-inch, thank you.
Yep.
And it's normally $229.99. It's $50 off. So it's going to be $179.99. It's $50 off. We've got one, and we can ship it, but I'll just let you know it will have some extra shipping fees. You know, it's heavy.
Yeah,
It's
very
heavy. And it's big, so there will be some extra shipping. And we just charge actual shipping, so we would get your address if you're long distance,
Yeah.
and see what it would be and let you know. But if you want that, and it is online, isn't it, Diane?
Mm-hmm.
So it is online also, but that's the Big Shot Plus.
Yep, you got to have a big
I
shot.
feel like it's tool time. It's kind of like tool
It
time.
is tool time. Okay.
And since we're talking tool time,
oh,
let's
yeah.
just talk about the Better Press.
Yes, it was pretty cool.
Last
Impressed me.
Friday, isn't that cool? It impressed. Last Friday we showed you the Better Press letterpress from Sizzix, and we do have these on order. They're coming early June, late May. If you want to get your name on the list to get one reserved for you in the first shipment, then call us or send an email. We've got quite a list going, and I heard that they're probably going to be sold out in the first shipment. So let us know if you want one right away, and check back on last Friday's video to learn more about it. We'll be showing it
It's
again.
pretty easy.
Yeah, it works really
yeah,
well. It works really well.
Pretty cool.
Most of our staff, we've tried it. We've showed it to customers here at the store. If you want to see it, we do have one here in the store. Come on in, and we'd love to show you. It is $79.99.
I told Kelly for Christmas cards, it's going to be
It's very elegant. I can't wait to see their Christmas
I know.
plates. They're going to be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, if you are already signed up for this month's virtual class with Penny, the Copic Coloring Wildflowers, or Wild Columbine, be sure and get on the Facebook group. So go out there. The instructions are on a little piece of paper inside your kit. A lot of you have purchased the kit, but you're not on the Facebook group yet. So be sure and get out there. This Thursday, Penny's going to be coloring the orange flowers. It's kind of like pre-work. And it's at 1 o'clock Central Time this Thursday. If you aren't there live, it's okay. You can watch it later. But the class is the following Thursday on the 20th. And there won't be time to do all the coloring in class and put the cards together. So we thought it would be nice to have a little pre-work session.
Those cards are so pretty.
And if you're not signed up, we have kits left. We have 4 kits left. So get signed up. And then our special of the week is the diffuser from Tim Holtz and Sizzix. And we showed this yesterday.
Which is pretty.
It's kind of a basic tool.
It is. It's pretty cool. If you make cards.
Here, I guess we've got one of our samples here.
I'm not sure where the other samples
It's normally $15.99 and it's only $8.99, and it's got 6 pieces. And Diane, maybe if you show it right there, I don't know if it glares. Basically what it does, we use it with a regular embossing folder, not 3D, but regular, and it keeps a portion of your card from being embossed. Like this one, we use the little oval up here at the top. So it embossed everything but that little space, and then you could put a message, or you can use it like this.
I liked how you did folded one yesterday to make a name.
I know, that was this
card.
one. We just folded it like here, so, and we had a really nice little name tag.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Let's see. The other thing is Janet's Botanical Cards from 49 and Market product. That kit is gone. We do have, I think, maybe a dozen of the lasers left. So if you...
And you get 2 sheets.
And they're beautiful.
Yeah,
Diane and I both got one for ourselves.
Yes, we did.
And then we also have the little chipboard pieces, the archival chipboard that she used on those cards. And these are $4.99, and they're online if you go to shopping and go to collections, and then 49 and Market embellishments. But we were able to find a few of these.
What's the word called that you called them?
Archival chipboard, is that?
No, archival. That's
what they call them. It's a chipboard, but it's kind of soft and it's not as thick.
And I think I put treasure in the title too.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Archival chipboard, treasure archival chipboard, I think is what I called it.
So
sometimes we have trouble with names.
Those are $4.99. They're laser cut. They punch right out. They add dimension, but not too much dimension. Yeah. And you can color them. I think in Janet's cards, she left them all the white
and
color.
They do punch out very, very nicely.
And we have her card text sheets too, if you wanted the text sheets.
Vicki, the cinch bundles are sold out. Kelly reordered them yesterday, but they are also sold out. But
they're sold out at American Crafts, but they're going to be coming back in this summer.
Yep.
Should be early July.
So if you want to get one, just call us and we will get you on the list.
You don't have to pay for
Prepay.
anything
Nope.
until they come.
No.
We don't believe in that.
No.
For most things. Okay, then we got in 2 of the We Are punches, the corner punches, the 3-way.
And we had been waiting for this
I know,
one
people
for
have
a
been
long
waiting for
time.
that. It's really nice for like if you're doing cards, or I'm sorry, tags. So here's the corner rounder. Chris loves it. It's $10.99. You only have 1 punch, but you have 3 sizes.
Yep.
And then this one, I just saw this, Diane, so I want to turn it around. I was wondering, why do I want a slanted edge like that?
Right.
But look at it, they made tags with it.
Yes, that's when I checked that in, I thought that was amazing.
We're gonna have to get this out and use it.
Yeah.
We're gonna open one and use it. And we've had a really hard time getting the quick stick picker upper from American Crafts.
It's still on back order.
It's been a couple
long
months
time,
at least.
yeah.
So we were able to find the jewel picker from Marvy or Uchida. So we do have this in. It's $6.29. It's got kind of the little it's kind of a sticky plastic edge end on each end. And those do not wear out. I talked to somebody when I was at Creativation, and they don't wear out. You can just kind of wash them off with a little bit of water if you need to get the sticky back.
Cool.
I thought that was pretty
Yeah.
neat. All right, then Easter, we had the egg carton die.
That we always wanted to put together, but we never did.
We have 1 left. And then I wanted to mention, because I don't know how many people knew this, but this stamp, Extra Special, actually goes with the egg carton.
Turn this around. They had sent us cheat sheets, layering guide. Look how cute that is.
It could be open or closed or open and closed.
It's pretty cool.
And then you have this like farmer's market that you can put on top of the egg carton if you want to. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that we had those. And then speaking of Easter and Avriel, we're going to Avriel now. The bunny tag, we were able to get a few of the bunny tag dies. So I know Easter's passed for most of us, but if you had the stamp and you were wanting to get the die, or if you want the stamp, it's $7.99 and the die is $16.49.
Yeah.
And that came back in after Easter. And then should we show these for
Yes,
Elizabeth
these
Crafts?
are back in stock.
Oh, someone was really excited about this one.
I love this die.
That's the
it's
file
pretty
folder
cool.
page. And it makes sense. Here, I'll flip it over.
Yeah.
So
And it
those
is-
little tabs actually cut, and then you
Yep.
can slip things in them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't used the leaves yet, but I really like the page.
The leaves look like they cut out kind of like skeleton leaves,
Yeah.
kind of like the Tim Holtz
I'm
skeleton.
sure they cut out very nicely.
And then we have the
Okay, so this is a die that I used in my Easter book that I showed last week.
okay.
Not that one.
this one.
That one.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
yes, if I would have looked
It's-
at this.
It's the torn page one. It is 1865. And then I used this slide die
I think you
too.
bought it originally for the torn page.
Yeah.
And then you kind of used the other pieces, and those little
Yes.
frames were so cute in your book.
Yeah, and it's got the cutest other pieces too.
It's
The
$22.99.
camera and yeah.
And then this one's back in stock.
Yes.
This is Art Party.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool.
And the jar is nice to put flowers in or do a lot of other things with too. Let me flip her around.
I like the easel. The easel's pretty cool. And a lot of the makers for Elizabeth Craft have been using this die.
Have they really? Well, I really like the
Yeah.
easel because you could, I see on a scrapbook layout, you could put your title there.
Yep. Yep.
And then Diane, this looks like one that you use
Yes.
also, the
So
journal
this
edges.
is this one right here, the third one from the left is the one I used in my Easter journal folio.
They're nice because they're bigger than like a card size, so you could use it on a larger project.
Yep.
And
I
that's
like that one.
$10.99. Pretty good price. And then here's the new one.
This is a new one from
It's called
Annette
Layered Birds.
Green
Layered
that we
Birds.
were out of, that we got back
And
in.
I'm going to flip it over so you can see the dies because I really like it when the pieces are on one die, the little pieces.
Yeah.
So you only have to cut once.
So that's a neat one.
It is. Okay, and then I think this one's been very popular.
Yes,
the
this one
postage
came
stamp.
back in stock. This is another one of the Annette Green's new dies that I used in the. Did I use it in the? No, I think I used it in the
Used it
one
today.
today.
So that's postage stamps. That's $17.99, and I didn't mention, but the birds were $15.99. Okay, I think we've got this. So let's move on to
Oh, back in stock.
the grid ribbon is back in
Yep.
stock. The full spools, or you can get it by the foot, but you really need a full spool.
Yep, we still don't have red or white.
Yeah,
They
we
are
don't.
both
We
on
don't know
back.
if they'll
Yeah.
will ever have red or white, but we've got the other colors.
She said that they were on back orders, so hopefully we'll get them in soon.
Yeah, hopefully we will. Okay, then we have a new collection called Nature's Garden Wildflower.
Yeah, how
And
appropriate
this
for today.
is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Here's the 12 by 12 paper.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
This is the same artist that did Delightful Daisies. And this is just so pretty. You know, if you cut this apart, or you could use a full sheet.
And the B-sides, of course, are gorgeous
They
too.
are. Or do a whole album with just this.
Yeah.
I just think it's gorgeous. So there's the 12 by 12 tablet.
Or you could
at
frame
that
one of
one.
these.
You could.
Yeah. Put some words on it and you're good to go.
And that's $19.99, and you get 36 double-sided sheets, and then it does come little.
And we do have a spring category now on our website, and all this stuff is under that tab also.
It's also under new. I put it under new this morning too. So there's the 6x6, and again, you get 36 sheets. It's $9.99, and you know they're really good about providing the solid cardstocks that coordinate.
And
So
they're
there is,
gorgeous colors.
yeah, and it's a nice texture. This is $19.99, and how many? You get 7
28.
colors for 28 sheets.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more. Just like if we're selling steak knives, Diane. Here is the stamp set.
Which the verbiage on this.
It's
is
really neat. I pulled it out so we could look at it a little closer. So I just think it's all kind of about growing and flowers. Let your dreams blossom. Have a good day. Let love grow. Friends are happy. Flowers are happiness. So that's a really, really pretty stamp set. And that one is $7.99. Are you kidding me? Okay, so it's $7.99. And then it has a die set that goes with it.
Which I really like.
It's $19.99, and you're going to get all of these floral dies.
Look how fun those are.
Diane says, oh, I want that one, and that one. And she goes, oh, and that one. So you get all the dies, but look what else you get. This little stencil piece. And I happen to cut out a piece of paper to show you. It makes the little bouquet.
Isn't
you know,
that
like
just
it
so
shows
sweet? Oh my god.
like it shows here. So you get the stencil, and it is, I think it's 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and it's got score lines. So I just took a scoring tool, and I'm just going to do it here.
Thank you so much for letting me use this.
So you just score it,
Yeah.
and then it puts in your fold lines, and then you just fold it over.
How cute is that?
And Diane, if you made this out of vellum, wouldn't that be pretty?
Yes.
And then you have your little bouquet, and then you die cut your flowers, and you're ready to go to make this.
Or glassine paper.
Oh yeah, I like that too.
We do sell glassine paper. Somebody is linking. Wanda is
Oh,
linking.
thank you. My
Yes.
gosh.
Diane, it does remind us of Kane Company, this paper.
Oh, it does.
Yep.
It definitely does.
Yes.
And then I don't know if these are new, Diane, or somebody picked them out because they match this collection.
They
so
are
well.
new.
But we got the new Little Birdie flowers. These are $5.99, and you know, if you look at how beautiful that blue and that purple is, like perfect. And then I really liked. I don't know if it has the name here.
Oh, there isn't. Never mind. Never mind.
And then I even thought the cream colored ones looked good on this
Yeah.
paper here. So okay.
Juanita, there is no yellow grid ribbon. Right? Correct.
Right.
And
Katie
we've
just
never
confirmed it.
said anything.
There's
They've
no-
never said anything about the yellows. So,
maybe, and we hope we can get white someday.
yeah, so then you will
In a
just
perfect
have to
world, we could get white and red, but we'll see if that happens.
diet.
Okay.
Okay.
Diane, I think we're ready. Is there any other questions?
Let's Janet. I think we've answered all of your questions that I have seen. So I guess we are going on.
We're going on to our demo.
the demo.
And we're using the Wallflower bundle for National Garden Month that we introduced it about a week ago, didn't we? Wasn't it last Tuesday?
Yep.
So
So
we'll
I
give
guess
you a
we'll
refresher
take it
of what you
apart.
get inside. It's $39.99. It's got a value of over $50. And we were able to get our hands on the Tim Holtz Wallflower Paper Stash in vellum and regular. It's a product that's discontinued.
So this is the paper pack. That is just gorgeous. And of course, I like the B side as
Diane's
well.
always the
I
B-sider.
am. But it is just gorgeous. It has the 12 by 12, and then it has some, I should open one of these up. Oh, it's so hard to open. But it has the
can
6
kind of sit back here.
6 by 6, and then the 3 by 3s and the 3 by 4s. So everything is in one
And
paper
you get,
pack.
is it 2 of each paper or 3 of each paper? I don't really remember. It's 36 sheets.
36. I don't know. It really
Doesn't
doesn't
really
say. But
You get
there's
at
a
least-
lot.
You get at least 2 of each paper because
Yeah.
we've both been using it and we passed it on. We passed it on to Maggie, everybody. So get
2
ready.
of every sheet. And then you get the same paper with the vellum. And the vellum is just, it's a heavier vellum, so it's really nice to work with. But you also get the same designs.
And Diane showed us this last week in her garden albums.
Yes.
That she used-
Yep,
used
I
a lot of
used
the
it.
vellum.
I did. I really like it.
So you get both of those, and then Squirrel Moment. We have a question. The grid ribbon.
And some garden verbiage.
You can cut those apart, and they've got all different fonts and.
Yeah, they're really fun. A large tag, which I did not use, but how much fun.
I wanted
yeah,
to, but
we
I didn't have one. I
didn't
think they
get
all
a
went into
project
packets.
made up, but you can make up some really fun things with that. And then the accordion folio from Tim. And this is the paper one. There's also a cloth one, but this is the paper one. And then this bag of goodies that has the pocket cards, tickets, it's got some mini clips, some buttons, some...
Got a tag. Isn't there a
Yeah,
tag? or
yep,
two in
there
there?
is a tag in there. There's the 49 and Market Sage tickets that go beautifully with this collection. So that's what you get, and it is.
So that's the bundle. I think we have maybe a dozen left. And
Yep.
and I tried to get more of the Wallflower Paper Stash, and it's not available. So when it's gone, it's gone. It's basically what we're saying. And then we had a question about shipping to Canada, and that's something we are checking on. Right now, I'm really sorry we don't ship to Canada, but we are looking into it.
Yes.
We would love to.
Let's see, the Sampool ripped die. It's on the south wall.
paper one?
The ripped paper one. Yeah, it's to the left.
This little box, Diane told me she has it on her coffee table out on her porch.
Yeah, I had
The
talked
sunroom.
about making folios for my vignettes that I have around my house, and I just decided I had pulled this out this weekend to get it put out. I keep it out in the spring and the summer, and then I do something else on my coffee table. We have a 4-season porch that has windows all around it, and you can see all of our flowers and stuff. So I made this
Oh, that's
to put
nice.
on our coffee table, and I thought, oh, that might be kind of fun to show how I make stuff to put in my vignettes. So this is a tag that I made, and I'll show you how I made this collage. And then I just stick it in some old books. I tied some twine around it. This is a piece that I have had for quite a while. It's a chalkboard, but it's magnetic. So I made a piece I used muslin and put magnets so it just sticks right on there. And then I made a collage of different things, a pocket card, a picture, and then all the other I stamped. And then I sewed some paper onto the muslin. So that was a lot of fun. This die here is an older Tim Holtz one. So you can kind of see how I layer.
Well, and
How
I
I
think,
do that.
I think this bundle of books is a good idea, just as it is, if you don't want to have the room for a box like this.
And if you
And putting a
look
tag
down
on the
in
top.
there, I use books to build things.
I think we've got doilies.
Okay.
No paper.
You can see how I use
Yeah,
books
good
to build
idea.
things up, because this is kind of a deep container. And then on one of my junking trips, I found the Better Homes and Gardens
amazing.
garden book, which is just so cool. I just really, really liked it. And then I kind of collect flashcards. I'm always out looking for vintage looking flashcards, and this one has gardens, so I just stuck that one in there. And then this is a ticket that I made from the Elizabeth Craft ticket die that I thought that would be fun.
And you could probably
just
make it
sticking
with
in.
the Tim Holtz ticket booth also.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then this is a little metal flower that I've had for a while. And then this is a little sweet container that I got from a friend that I just stuck that down there. And it really needs to be up higher, so when I take it home, I'll build this up a little. And then I thought I would just put that right there. So this will go on my coffee table in our 4-season porch. And then the flowers here, once my peonies start blooming or my other
then you can
flowers,
put real-
then I
yeah.
put real flowers there.
Well, everyone's loving it. They think you're super creative,
Oh,
and
thank
they
you.
love it.
Thank you. So I was really excited when Kelly told me that we were going to be able to get the wallflower.
I know. It's an older
it is.
paper pack, and he doesn't do 12 by 12
Nope.
papers anymore. So we were really excited to get it.
Because I had bought it, and I showed all my albums last week that I had made with it. So I started out with the Tim Holtz Folio. And this one has been around for a little bit.
And this is in your, if you have the bundle, this came in the wallflower bundle, but if you don't have the bundle, it comes by itself also, and it's $6.99, and it is a really fun surface. I'll just call it a surface.
And I had never made one of these before. I have had it at my house, well, since it came out, but I had never made one before. So I was really excited to get to make one. So this is what it looks like when you get it, and everything is scored. You just have to score the rest of it so it makes little, so
you just have to fold on the line.
everything. Yep,
Okay, I didn't
everything.
realize that, so
Yep,
that's good to
everything is scored. And then you get this accordion little piece in there that you'll see how I used this.
And when this came out, Katie made
Yep.
one, and maybe Teresa made one.
Yep, they have used it before. And then you get twill to tie it, which you'll see I picked out a different ribbon, because that's kind of what I do.
So that is the accordion folio from Tim Holtz Ideology.
And then
Looks
again,
quite different here, Diane.
and then I just went to my stash. I, of course, just went and I decided what I wanted to use. So this is the new organic layers from Tim Holtz. This is his new collection. So I knew I wanted to use some of that. So I got that out. And then all the new Annette Green stamps and dies. I got those out because I knew I
There's
wanted
the
to
bloom
use.
right there on the front
Yep.
that she stamped.
I love this stamp. This is going to be one of my favorites. And then let's see. Oh, I used the sage
Film strip.
film strips that I had never used before either. So I thought that would be fun to use because the colors match that. So I got those out, and then the sage tickets matched perfect with this. And then the usual, the loop pins. And then we do have some flower charms that you can buy, and then you get 2 for $1.29, if that's what this one is. And I did use mushroom alcohol ink to tone it down. So that's another thing you got to remember. If you don't like it real shiny, just use mushroom ink or alcohol ink on it. So I got those out. The colors of inks that I used, the archival fern green, which is my new favorite green, gathered twigs, and then weathered wood looks really good.
Really?
With this, and you'll see how I used it to stamp.
Well, there's your fern green right there.
Yep. Love that color.
It's a good green.
It matched perfectly.
Kind of reminds me of peeled paint in distress, but
Yep. And then I just got out some of my other dies. I used 1984 curved library pocket. You'll see how I used this piece right here. And then, of course, my
Diane loves
favorite, the alphabet dies from Elizabeth Crafts.
when these came out, I don't know, was it last fall maybe? And I had
Yeah.
ordered them, and I don't know if you were gone, and then Diane's like, did you order those alphabets? And then I realized we didn't order enough, so we ordered more.
Yeah, well, we've ordered a lot since then. And then, let's see, I used this Tim Holtz die. This is the Flower Field. It is $19.99, and it is all one piece. But you'll see how I cut it apart. But I loved the daintiness of it. And it's real easy. It cuts good, and it's real easy to cut apart. So you'll see how I used that.
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yep. And let's see. Then I used these lovely
you showed us
things.
these last week.
Okay, so this is the new Garden Gate from Impression Obsession. And it is a perfect size for this folio, $11.99. The flower pots, which these are been around for a while. They're $7.49, but you get 3 really fun sizes. And you'll see it cuts,
So you can
so you
stick
can
things
stick,
in there.
yep,
I like
things in
that.
there. And then this is a really cute set that Kelly found. The perfect size, again, for this folio, the garden tools. And these are such a good price. And they cut. It's really nice. And then I used this Impression Obsession stamp. I loved that sweet little flower. And then I
Garden
used,
sayings.
yep, quite a bit, or quite a few of the verbiage there. And then this sweet little flower,
It's $3.99.
Yep, it is.
And it says flowers.
stamps. It's just
can't wait
really
to see where
fun
you put
to
it.
how I use that. So, and then some of the other, let's see, that's the bloom. I used the postage stamps, and then for some other of the projects, I used some tags. And then I used the ripped paper die from Sam Pool. Again, I thought we had it, but I
I
guess
think that's on back order, but
we got it in.
Oh, it came in.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
order some more.
and we got quite a few of them in, but now it's back again, which I did not realize. I didn't check on that. So those are the fun things that I use. So we'll just, and I use my sewing machine a lot.
Diane's been sewing a lot on her paper craft.
I love it.
You and Teresa.
I use black thread a lot just because it really shows up, and it's just, I like the way it looks.
It goes well, I think, with the Tim Holtz designs.
Oh, Katie, will you get the backdrops of the new Tim Holtz that has the pink in it?
They have a question. They want to know what folders you have your dies stored in.
Okay, I did bring that. This is what I use. It's the Tim Holtz. There's stamp storage, but I don't use them for stamps. I just use them for my dies. And they're really sturdy and they have holes in them. So I do have some of these in binders. And I really, thank you.
And it looks like the
really,
is this a sidekick or a planner?
this is a planner.
So it does fit.
Most
it
of
goes
them,
to the top,
yep.
but it does fit, and that's a problem with
Yep.
those sometimes.
And then I just cut down my magnet sheets that we have,
Oh.
the 8.5 by 11. You can see I have different sizes in there, but that's what I use for all of my. I like them because first of all they have holes, plus they're very sturdy.
They're a lot heavier. Than the
They are
AJLs.
heavy, and they're very inexpensive. You get 8 for $5.99, so they're very inexpensive. So that's what I use for my a lot of stamps, but mostly for my dies.
It's important to be organized so you know what you have.
Yes. And again, I use some of the new Tim Holtz colored paper. This is Backdrops number 5. So I also used that. I didn't use that one. So I started with the vellum. And then I just put the vellum on a piece of background paper, which is all out of the wallflowers, sewed it. And then this pink piece here was one of the scraps that I had left over from the Easter.
From the Easter.
Easter
Okay.
one that came out of this package, and I thought, well, that looked good there. And then I just made a banner, and I stamped the bloom from the Annette Green new stamp.
I have a feeling that this fits in the postmarks. Don't you think? The postage.
It does. It does. This does fit in. I'm not sure if it's probably this one right here. Yes, you can use those together.
And we have a quick question about what's the name of the Tim Holtz. It is the bundle. It's the Wallflower for National Garden Month bundle, and it's got Wallflower is the name of the paper packs that are in there.
And we have a collection online, or a category that's called Garden Journal.
Oh, it's in themes.
And yes, and that's what it's under. And I think also under specials. So.
You're right, it is in specials too.
So as I was designing this, I knew I wanted to put a picture on the front. So I went to my stash of flower pictures and just started looking through all of them. Found one that was very colorful. And then this is one of the slide film strips that I cut apart. And they're real easy to cut apart. And just glued that on there. Put the loop pin with the little vintage button and the charm. So
I
that
think adding
is
a
my
button is what gives your little hangy charms a little more dimension.
I like
And
to
kind of,
hang or do
I
buttons.
don't know how to describe it, but I think the button adds dimension and
Yeah.
makes it hang a little better. And
Yeah,
Lori's
it's just
teasing
fun.
me because you said the word scraps.
I know, and
Diane
will.
doesn't do scraps. She never used
But
to.
I do now,
I
and
think
you.
She does now.
I
but
have a really fun project that I made with scraps. Okay, little pieces. Yeah, that's what I call them. Katie said I couldn't say scraps.
You could have the other day.
I'm embracing scraps now. I'll just put that out
Anything
there.
was smaller than a 12 by 12, Diane used to throw it away.
And look,
Oh, she even has a little box. Of
I
scraps.
do. I keep scraps now until
are
I'm
really tiny.
until I am all done, and you'll see why when I show you this project.
Katie, you should
Katie's
see these.
amazed.
They're like, they're not even shapes. One of them's just like a.
No, and I have, I cut a film strip apart and just.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I've
But
come a
her-
long
her
ways,
little
Katie.
pieces are color coded. That's impressive.
But
That's a good idea
that's
for a
how
project.
I
put
keep.
my honeybee gems
Yeah.
in those containers. They're really
I love these containers. So anyway, so that's the cover. So then I just went page by page, and this was my second page, and you will see that
there is a flap here, which you can leave, you can make a pocket out of it, you can just leave it open, you can cut it off and do whatever you want to. That's the fun thing about these folios.
You can be creative
you
with
can,
it and do your own
yeah,
thing.
go with the flow. This I made a pocket, so I used score tape and I put it around the bottom so I could make a tag. So this is one of the papers out of the collection that I just love that look, because I love pink flowers. I do a lot of pink flowers at my
I love
house.
how you stitched it in an oval.
And
oh
I
my
just
gosh.
tore it out and stitched around it. And then I added some ephemera and made a little display out of it. So then this is a tag, and in your collection you will get these pocket cards. This is one of the bigger ones. And I made a pocket out of it. First I sewed around it because I was going to do this side. I liked this side with the flower, but then as I got to going, I really liked this side. And this is the weathered wood stamp.
That's where you use weathered
Yeah.
wood. I was trying to figure out how you got that
Gloria?
with it. So then that's the flower.
Oh, you're on the phone.
So the flower stamp.
Oh,
she
yes,
used
right
at the
there.
top.
And then this is a Tim Holtz.
One of his
Butterflies.
stamps. Okay.
And then, oh, there's some dies. The bug die and the bug stamp. And then, yeah, and then the bird die. I used a lot of product
Yeah,
in here.
she didn't even bring it all.
No, I didn't. This is the Tim Holtz little bird. And then this is a pocket card that I just made to make a pocket.
And you put a pocket card in it.
And I put a pocket card in it with a piece or some flowers on the back side. And then this is the stamp that is off of this.
Oh,
I
okay.
love
From
that
the garden,
flower.
From the garden
Yep.
sayings.
And then the
with
saying
weathered
is off of there too.
Okay, so look at that, how she stamped the flower and then stamped the little saying across the bottom. And it's all from here.
And the flower, or the color of the flower, is weathered wood.
And then you just did black
Yep.
for the,
Yes.
it's very clever.
And the red, that was on the back side of the pocket card. And then this little flower is off of one of the Elizabeth Craft hole reinforcements. There's
Oh,
the
that's a good
bird.
idea.
Okay, here's the bird die that I used, and it is
Is that
called,
Feathered Friends? Or?
it is, Feathered Friends, $14.99. Close enough. Not the big ones. Oh, I used the butterfly
Entomology?
off of here. Yep, this
there's
is the set of,
entomology.
thank you, set of stamps that I used. There's the butterfly up there, and then you'll see on the other side, I
Oh,
did,
is that a mosquito?
I don't know what that is, but the bees I stamped, which I thought was really
I
fun
thought
and
those were on the
appropriate.
pocket card. And
Nope.
when you said, I like this side because of the flower, and I'm like, well, it's got a lot of bugs on it.
So that is the entomology, and then there is a die set of bugs too.
Those are really fun.
And
Teresa
they're
has used
called funky
funky
insects.
insects.
So that is how I made that card, and then I just found another picture to put on the back of that. But decorating these pocket cards, they're
I never
very
thought about
collagey,
stamping them and stuff. That's a great
but
idea.
I love to add other things to the backs of them. And that weathered wood, the color matched perfect.
And it looks like it belongs on the card.
Yeah.
I thought
Yes.
the card, I recognized the flower stamp, and
Yep.
that was my clue.
And then that just goes in there like that. And then I wanted it sticking out so when you see it, so then,
Oh, yeah.
okay, so you guys will laugh about this. I started going through my Tim Holtz verbiage sticker books, and all I had at my house were the Christmas ones.
Is that from the Christmas?
This is one from the Christmas one, but I thought it was so appropriate.
So you just should, you
I
never
just,
know. You
I
should
just
check
cut it
them all
apart.
out.
I think I probably had to cut off some words, but I thought, well, that's very appropriate. So that's why that is
I
sticking
like
up
how it
with
sticks
those.
out and shows on the
Yeah.
front.
So that's where that one came from. I really need to get just the generic set. So then let's see, then I went to this page. Just a real fast tip. I always put paper here, but the other night I was looking on Pinterest and I came across a designer who made one of these, and she stamped verbiage like she would have taken one of these little ones and stamped along there. So that's another way to, instead of putting paper, use some different stamps.
That's a good idea.
So I really liked that idea. So then I went to this page and just trying to think of different things to do. I made a tier pocket. Oh, and I didn't bring that one either. Boy, I should have looked at this closer. I thought I had them all here, but...
Is that a die?
Okay, so...
Because I recognize this
yep,
die.
this one is this die. The mixed... so this one, I made pockets out of these. So I have 3 different pockets here. So this one here is one of the background papers, and I cut holes, and I wish I had that. I'm making... So this is one of the mixed media dies from Tim Holtz that is a little older. And then, will you go see if the mixed media, oh, I could have swore I brought that this morning. It's called Mixed Media, and it's got different corner punches dies on it.
Tim?
By Tim, yes. This die here is the ripped paper die from Sam Pool that we got in, and then we couldn't get it in for a long time, and we got it in. Now it's back out again. So that's this one here to make this pocket. And then this is just a piece of vellum that I tore to make a pocket. So there's a pocket here, pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket here. And then I just added a picture down there, and that is cut out of the...
So, this
Yes.
one. I also brought 5.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So this is the one here that I used to die cut the top of that, which I thought was really fun. This is called Mixed Media 1, and it is $22.99. And then this would be a very appropriate too. This is Mixed Media number 5. And these corners are really fun to use. I've used them in other folios. So those are 2 more dies that I used. Then I went to my pocket cards, and again, you get 5 of every size. So you get the large ones. This is the medium one, and then there is another square one in here, and then the smaller one. So I took 3 of those, and I really liked, let's see, I took a different one that I didn't particularly like, and I cut the top off of one I liked. So this is, and then I sewed it on. And then this stamp is off of the Impression Obsession stamp, and I stitched around it. And then you can't really see this. I should have stamped it in black, but I did stamp it in the weathered wood. But sometimes it's okay. It just kind of blends into the background, which I really like too. Yeah. And then this, this is the postage stamp that I took a picture, and I used, let's see, so I used this one here to cut out the main picture. So that's that one. And then I took one of the other ones and put it on the inside. So there's 2 pieces. So
Oh, I see it now.
okay, so
Yeah.
this is the frame, and then I cut out the other picture using that one. So it's not all one piece.
That's clever. I really
That was
like
fun to do.
Is that new Elizabeth Pratt?
It is, and I love it
I really like that.
because you get all of these dies and they're perfectly layered. So you get 4 different sizes, 3 different dies, and it makes it really easy to
really like
layer. Yes.
Ooh. Oh.
This was one of the very first ones that I bought from this collection, that and the set of stamps.
Yes, I like that set of stamps.
Yeah, and it's called postage stamps, and we got this back in stock yesterday.
Yes.
So we have those. So
Kelly had
that's
to go
how
do
I
some-
did that picture.
Kelly had to go do something, so it's Katie here,
Oh.
and I've been muted after yesterday, so.
So that's the tag that I made for the top one. And again, I like it that it sticks out. I love things that stick out,
Gosh,
the
this is
top.
amazing.
Okay, then I did this one. This is one of the mini journal tags. This little one here is out of this collection, the flower. The flower pot is this die here.
Oh.
And you can see I cut it out of just some of my scraps. But it made a really fun flower pot.
It does.
And then there is a slit there that I just slid down in there. And then this is also a butterfly that's out of this collection, and I just doubled
Love it.
that. So that's the pull. And then cut out using the postage stamp again of my flowers, and then put one of the...
Is this on there? Oh, I thought that was added.
No,
already
that's
on
on there. I added the verbiage and then...
Okay. To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. I love it. And it's getting time to plant.
Yes, it is.
Have you planted yet?
I have not.
Have you bought?
I have not.
Okay,
It's...
then I feel better.
No, it's a tad early.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah,
usually
and
plant May. It's got to be May. You know, we in Iowa, you never know. We
Yeah.
could get snow in May. And I don't like putting flowers out and then taking them back in
I
and
know.
covering everything. I don't like to do that. So
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Well, especially for you because you have a ton
have a lot.
of flowers.
But usually, right after the 1st of May, my daughters and I usually get together on Mother's Day and have a potting party.
Oh, that's right.
So they bring their pots, and we have a barn that we just take everything out to the barn and have a lot of fun. Okay, this is another pocket card, and this stamp here, the green, is this stamp right down there. So then I just cut out one of my dahlias and put that in there. I used the postage stamp as a little pull, and then put some more flowers on the back.
Very cute, very cute.
So Kelly's back.
I'm back, but I left my microphone on. I'm sorry. I had to go solve a problem. So all of you knew that we had a glue problem, and I apologize for that. But and we
Okay.
had a register problem.
Oh,
Diane,
gracious.
but we're all
Oh,
good
imagine
now.
that. Okay, this one goes in here. So there's 3 different pockets. So we have this one, and then this one goes in this. And you can just see how I tore the vellum and then just glued around the edge to make another pocket. So you can make fun pockets out of anything, and you can kind of see the flower through there. So
And Donna says, be careful bringing flowers back inside. They brought in a begonia one year, and the cat got, and it was poison to the cat.
oh yeah, we have a barn, so usually I just put them in the barn, and they stay pretty good.
In your potting party, they all think it sounds like fun.
It is fun. We got the the grandsons involved too. Give them a shovel and dirt, and they were good to go. So that was my second page, my first page, my second page. Then the middle, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I moved on from there, and I moved to this page. So you have this page here that's got a flap. So you can leave it like that, you can make a pocket, but you will see how I folded it back, and now
that's very
the flip
different.
is on the back side. And I thought how it's a perfect size for the photo or the film strips. And I don't know if I had to cut one, or they're really easy to cut. Then this paper, these pictures, that's a paper from the collection that I just cut out the butterflies, left this one open and put one of my peonies pictures in there. And then used one of the tiny clips, which these are on back order. We're hoping that they come back in stock.
They're really tiny.
But
When you
it's-
say tiny, those are tiny.
But it is the tiny, but I use them a lot. You could also use one of the paper clips, the little mini paper clips too. So then, let's see.
It's a very clever idea to fold it backwards.
Thanks. And it was just the perfect size for the film strips. And then I found, this is one of the pocket cards that I cut apart because I loved the design. And then the mushrooms were out of this collection.
Ideology,
Yep.
organic.
This is
layers.
organic layers. Yep. Oh, and if you haven't gotten this, it's just got so many fun
It does. I used a little bit
fun
of that.
thing. In fact, this flower right here is one out of there.
But you use the
Yep,
flower
use
pot
the
dye
flower
from
pot
Impression
again.
Obsession. So
Yep.
that's a good idea.
That's how I made this one over here too, that flower pot. And you can see I used pattern paper to
Yeah.
make a really fun.
Well, Diane has a comment
Different.
here, and it says, so much going on in a little album, and I think that's very true.
And you know what? You don't have to do all of this. I do this to give you guys ideas too, so you can definitely tone it down. But when I get going, I love doing all of this
That's why we
fun
love Diane
stuff.
projects.
And using all of my stuff that I have, using some new stuff, but it's just a lot of fun. So I just added a pocket card there with a cutout. Then on this page, I took, okay, this is one of the mini paper clips, and you get 2 of those in your...
Oh, in the bundle.
in the bundle. These 2 are the square pocket cards, and I just
Oh my
and I did
gosh.
have to cut them down a little. I just scored them to make page flips, and then used the tickets as little holders.
Oh, that's
To-
so cool.
And I didn't get a picture there. I have a lot more pictures to put in, but I love this paper, so I probably won't put a picture over that. But this is a fun idea to use. And then to close them, I just use the mini paper clip on them.
We love the little mini clips.
Yeah.
They're super handy.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of them in the package.
You do. And then the flower pots, how fun is that? I just, again, took one of my scraps and cut out so they're
And
just
I
not...
would not ever have thought of
Yeah.
combining that with the Tim Holtz layers. That is really fun.
Yeah, I loved how the flower pots turned out. And then we have a crabapple tree in our backyard that is just gorgeous when it blooms, and that's looking back towards our house. So that is that page. That was a lot of fun to design. And then I just put that on there to keep it closed. And then on the back, I just took one of my favorite papers and sewed around it. And then I will sign it and date it on the back. And then also, let's see, you can see that I did the alphabet. And I really wanted to do flowers, but there wasn't enough
quite
room,
enough
so
space.
it's flower. And I did that there. And then I did it at the top of the middle one. So then on to this page, I really hemmed and hawed how I wanted to design this. And I wanted to do something different using this. I didn't want to keep it all together. Just give you some different ideas. So I did this, and this flower again is out of the organic layers. And then this saying is out of the new Tim Holtz labels, quote chips. And if you haven't gotten these, there is just really fun sayings. And I thought that one was very appropriate for this little folio. So then this flips down. And I decided to put pictures in here of all my peonies because I have lots. So that's one of my peony bushes. And then I just took one of the labels and did that on my computer, did the beautiful peonies on my computer. And then these are some, no, I think,
Might be paper.
yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's all paper. I'm not quite sure, but it's either paper or the
There's so
pocket
much, it's hard to
cards.
keep track
Yeah.
of.
So then I took this and I cut it apart. So I have this as one piece, and then I have the back two as another piece. And what I did, I just cut it apart. So I cut it apart right here. So I have 3 on one and then 2 on the other. And I made a little flip out of it. So on the front, this is paper, and it's the 2 by, no, it must have been the, what size are they? 2 by 2?
Might be the 2x2s.
2. And then I just cut out one of my peony pictures and put it over the one little square. And then this is a pocket card. This is the Grow from the Annette Green stamp right there.
Okay, I didn't realize that was on there.
And then this is this stamp right there. And then the tools are from the Impression Obsession tool. And I cut the tools out of this paper, the silver, the craft core silver metallic, and then sanded them. And then I inked them, I needed to ink them more with espresso, the distressed espresso, to make it look like there was dirt
I
on
want to
them.
know how you cut the angles at the top, how you were able to cut that.
Well, what I did was I took a piece of paper and I just so say that this is my paper, and I took a pencil and just kind of drew the angle, drew the size of it, and then I cut it with my trimmer. And I cut this top one about 1/8 of an inch in from the line because I want, and then
Yeah, and then the other one.
that one too, because I wanted some of the folio to show.
Right. It looks good.
So that's how I did the angle. And it really worked out very, very nicely. I didn't even really measure this. I just slid it in my trimmer and cut it. And they pretty much
out
came
really
out.
well.
It did. Don't be too fussy about it. You see this one isn't quite lined up, but you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm anal about some things, but not other things. So that's that. And then the background of here, I used scraps to make a collage looking background for that. And that's one of the pocket cards. And again, all the stamps and dies. And then this paper here is really insect paper that you get in your packet. So I didn't have to do anything to this background. And then I put a picture of our house with all the flowers blooming. I thought that was appropriate for this one. And then I made another pocket, so I glued it on 3 sides, and
That's really clever.
I took more of the pocket cards, because you get quite a few of them, and I stamped that frame on this,
okay.
that with the weathered wood, which I really,
Clever.
Yeah,
See, I
it
don't
looks
think of
so
stamping pocket
good like
cards.
that.
I love that
Yeah.
idea.
and then that one was just plain. So I stuck that one in there. And then this one had the insects already on it. And then I just made a little tab out of some scrap and stamped balloons. So I can do my journaling. I think what I'm gonna do on here is tell the history of my peony bushes, because a lot of them, like I said last week, are close to 100 years old.
Yeah,
They
I
came
think that'd be
from my
really neat.
mother-in-law's house that she grew up in.
Oh, geez.
So I'm gonna tell the story of the peony bushes. And to tell you the truth, I don't think I bought any of my peony bushes, and I probably have
You've inherited all of them.
60 or 70 peony bushes, and
Wow.
I have inherited all of them. And they're pretty much all blooming yet. They don't bloom like they used to, but they still bloom.
None of us do.
Nope. Except my yellow one. My yellow ones are new, but they were gifts also. They're gorgeous. So then for the other piece, I took the garden gate, which is this one, and I cut apart this die, and I used the green Tim Holtz paper. And then I took I took the die, and you can see where I added some pink flowers here and a pink flower there. I just cut those out of some of my scraps and layered
them on top.
layered those apart. And then the flower pots again, I used all three, and I used different pattern paper. And then I took some of the flowers from here and just cut them apart and stuck them down in the flower pot. And then again, layered that one.
Oh my gosh, you got flower field, the flower pots, the garden tools, the garden gate, and the flowers
and then the
stamp,
flower stamp.
all on that one little
I
tiny
know,
card.
but how fun.
It looks really good.
And this kind of reminds me of my flower table that my son made me, that I do displays like this. I do little vignettes out on my potting bench too. Things like this. I just take things, and I have some vintage. My kids have found vintage gardening tools that I just stick in pots.
there. That's
Yep.
a good idea.
Yep. So that's how that page came about. And then on the rest of these, I just did some layering with some of the paper. That's one of the pocket cards that I tore at the bottom. Another peony picture. And then I took one of the film strips and laid it over the top of one of my peony pictures. So that's that one. And then on the back, again, just some of the paper and then more of my peony pictures. So left these pretty simple.
Well, they just are pop because they're so bright.
Yeah. And so that is my
And
folio.
There's a question about the die on the corner here,
Yep.
and I think they're talking
That's
about
that one. Yep.
the curved library pocket.
Yep.
So it's kind of, I mean, the library pocket is amazing on here.
This
and you
piece
use
is
the little
really
corner.
cool here, but I wanted to find a
Well,
use
okay,
for
and
that
you
one.
You use that another die to cut this
yes,
out.
and that might be,
Looks like it's right there.
yeah, it's that one right there. I cut my flowers out of that one.
Diane, it's amazing. Everybody loves it.
Well, there's a lot going on,
Parts.
but hopefully I gave you some ideas of techniques and different ways to do fun things in your
Right,
folios.
and we like to show a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then you can, we
Pick
show
and
as much as
choose.
we can, and you can do what you want to do.
Yep. And then for the closure, I chose this ribbon, which is,
But she
started-
she didn't just do the ribbon, of
it
course.
started out
It
looking
doesn't-
like that.
It doesn't look like it belongs, for sure.
So then I had to make it vintage. I took my scissors and just started cutting, and I stretched it, and I did this, and I inked it, and so I thought that looked really good.
It looks really good.
around here. So you can definitely use the twill and do the very same technique. You can cut it and ink it and make it look really old too. So
It looks good. So that was the Tim Holtz accordion folio. If you've got the wallflower bundle, you've got one of these in there, so you can make something fun with it. It's also available if you love it and you want more. It's $6.99, and it turned out really nice.
okay, so then I decided to do something with scraps. So that's
And I have to tell everybody, Diane is not a scrap
No.
person. It's the big joke around here. One year at Christmas, you remember that year we gave you that big, huge bag
Yep.
of scraps?
yep. And I'm not sure where that ended up, but I don't think it ended up at my house.
No,
But anyway, so I went to my stash of scraps, and they call this a master board, where I took a piece of craft, and this was 12 by 12, and I just started gluing on, and I used a liquid
I just want to
glue.
feel it because
It's just a collage mixture, and I used tags. I did use some of the vellum, and I used liquid adhesive behind it, and you really can't
no,
see.
it looks good.
I used some of the tickets. You can use just about anything. You can use some of the pocket cards, any pieces of the vellum, and I just tore them and started. I don't start and do it methodically. I just put a piece here, put a piece here, and here, and
And then
here,
just fill
and then
in.
just fill it in, and then I inked it with gathered twigs. So what I like to do, you ladies know I'm not a card maker, but I do occasionally have to send thank you cards or whatever. So instead of sending cards, I make tags.
She's a tag maker.
And I make
gosh.
it so people can reuse them. So sometimes if I needed a thank you, I would maybe put thank you on here. But this is cut out of here, and I just used, this would look really good cut out of here. But let's
Denise
see.
says that she says it's beautiful. She scans hers into her printer and uses copies and saves the
Oh.
original.
Cool. Yes.
I think a lot of people are into
Yeah.
that, which is cool.
This is the Sampool
That's the shabby whale tag.
whale tag that I like. And then where's the,
Elizabeth Crafts
Elizabeth-
has one.
yeah,
we had it down here on the table. I'm not
okay,
sure where
it
it went.
might be gone.
Maybe
But
somebody
anyway,
grabbed
any
it.
tag, the Tim Holtz tags or whatever you have, I just cut it out of there. So then on the back, I always make a little pocket. And this is where I would write whatever
Oh,
little
right.
note or whatever I would want to write. So if the recipient ever wanted to reuse this, all they would have to do is pull this out and make a new one to slip in there. So, or they can display it, or
Put it on one of our little mini
Yep.
easels, or Diane, I might get a stack of old
Yep.
books like you have
Yep.
here, and I might just stick them in there. And
Yeah.
I think that was really clever.
and this tag was made out of here too. I just added a charm and a loop pin and some of my favorite ribbon, and then I stamped on it. I stamped with the fern green, and then the flowers, and then the blue.
Green turns, it shows really well in the
Yeah.
archival.
Yeah.
Diane wants to know if you only use a certain weight of paper.
No, I use any paper. I'm not particular about weights of paper. I'm more concerned with color and pattern paper. But I just used a piece of craft cardstock on to layer this, and you can use scrap paper.
And Osha's asking about envelopes. What kind of envelopes do you use to mail your tags?
I would just use what I would probably, if I was just sending this and nothing else, I would use one of those number 9 craft envelopes.
Okay.
Would be perfect to go with this. That's what I would probably use. And then we don't have any of these in stock, but they are coming back in. It is the the Elizabeth Craft tickets and tabs. And I held off buying this for a long time.
Held off.
I did, but I love it. So this is one of the tickets that I cut out of here. And then this is one of the tickets that I cut out of here. And it's just fun. And I loved all the
Okay,
the-
so it's got a lot in it.
the months.
When
It's
that
got a
comes in, we'll
ton.
let everybody know
Yeah,
that
just-
it's here.
Let us know. And there was some other tickets that I cut, but they're in here somewhere. But this is a really fun die. So out of the rest of this, I thought this coin and this is a sample. The coin pocket would be really good look really nice out of this. And then any like this library pocket card would look good out of here. So this is just another way to use your scraps. So that's how I use my scraps. I make little pieces like this, and then you can always just make it up, and then I'll have them if I need to make something else. So that
Very
is,
nice. Everyone's loving this.
I think that is all the stuff that I made, and then Kelly made
Yeah, I made something with
this.
with the bundle.
So you can describe this. This is using one 12 by 12, right?
Yes, and this was the 12 by 12 that actually had 4 6 by 6 prints on it. So if you open it all the way up, you can, and open the flap, you can see that this is
how
a 12 by 12
fun.
sheet of paper, and we scored it in quarters,
Yep.
and then we cut away the top left quadrant,
And then you just fold it.
and then you can just fold it up. And we have had videos on this before, but I thought this would be a good collection for that.
And what a fun way to use
Yeah,
all
so I
of
put
these
some of the
cards
cards
are
in
just so much fun. She made a little pocket, and all of this is out of this. And I like how you did that.
And then I just need some pictures now.
Yeah. And made a little book. So,
And they're asking about who Sam Poole is, and Sam Poole's a designer.
for,
We don't have any Sam Poole
yeah, right
things.
here.
Okay.
Creative expression.
And Sam Poole does a lot of things like Diane style, where she's got the doilies, she's got some doily dies,
Where did the other doily go?
and there's a torn paper die that we have on order.
Yep.
And what
I don't
else? The
know.
tag.
A lot of doilies. This one.
lot of
that's,
shabby things.
The whale tag.
When I hear Sam Poole, I kind of
Yeah.
think shabby.
Yes.
Vintage and shabby.
Yes. So those are a couple of the things. And then a lot of doilies, different size doilies and whatever. So,
It's all amazing. It's
so
really
yeah,
cool.
this is just a fun little, what a
You can do that
fun
with a lot
little,
of different
yeah, and
papers,
put a
too.
gift card in there, and what a great Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, you could put
Oh,
pictures.
definitely.
um,
Pictures of the kids or your garden and,
Okay, the
That's
pots on the
really
die are smaller. I would say that this one's maybe an inch, and maybe
Yeah.
3/4, and maybe an inch and a quarter.
quarter. Yeah. And they do cut the slots, so as you can see in here, I did stick things down in them. Not sure where.
They like the Mother's Day idea. Oh, you had you had a bundle of them.
Yeah,
The flowers came from this organic layers. It's the new
Oh, right
Tim
here.
Holtz. I call it ephemera.
Yeah.
But it's called layers, and it's organic, and that's where the flower die cuts came from.
yeah, you can see how it makes a slit that you can slide things down in there.
There's the pots. Carol loves everything Sam Poole. They like the Mother's Day idea. And then they want to see what all comes in the kit.
Okay.
So maybe we could show that.
Okay, this is what Kelly made
Oh,
yesterday with
yeah.
the cinch, a whole bunch of leftover. This is a pocket card. This is the Tim Holtz.
Yeah, we added the file folders.
File folders, and then just some of the scraps that were left from when I did this album, and just made some really fun flips and
We need to
flaps.
you need to maybe finish that.
Yeah,
You would be
look
great.
how fun that is. Oh my gosh, just
Very, very.
use the vellum and yeah.
We
it's
made that
just-
with the mini cinch. You could do it with book rings if you wanted to,
Yeah,
or
how fun.
other ways.
That would be fun. Okay, what you get in the kit.
We're going to show you the kit, and then while Diane's getting that, I want to say I'm sorry. I went to help with the return, and I had my microphone on. Diane, I apologize.
Oh.
And then I had we had a credit card issue, and I think I said I was sick of this problem happening. It had nothing to do with the customer.
Well, and it
It's our
seems to
credit
be
card
happening
machine.
when I do my videos for
So
some
anyway,
reason.
and so Diane, I'm very sorry
Oh.
about that. I thought it was off. So you might have heard my little frustrations with our processor.
Okay, so again, you get the vellum 12 by 12 and
That's
all
the
of
wall
those
flower.
gorgeous papers in there. And then the pattern paper, which you get 36 pieces in here, and you get 18 pieces in there. And then you get a tag, which you can fold and make really something really
a giant
fun.
tag. I really wanted to do something with the tag. Maybe we still will.
Yeah. The folio. And then garden theme verbiage.
And
get
thank you,
2
Dawn,
sheets.
for that.
Yep.
Those were Dawn's garden quotes that we're sharing.
And then all the stuff that you get in the little goodie bag. And when I was referring to pocket cards.
And we have pocket cards on order, so
Yes,
we don't
and I
have
had
any.
one,
They
and
should be coming
they're
soon.
gone. But you get a lot.
You're going to get 25 in your bundle.
Yeah, and this is a tag. But these are all the pocket cards. So there's this size, and I used that one. But everybody gets different ones. And then there's a square one.
But we will tell you that we spent, it was sort of like who's on first, because we
Yep.
want to make sure everybody got them with flowers. 'Cause
Yep.
This is a flower project for National Garden Month.
So these are the 4 different sizes, and you get 5 of each size. And then you get tickets, you get some buttons, you get the mini clips, and I think that's it, plus
And
the
this
tag.
is $39.99, and it is it's a value over $50. So, and we have about a dozen left. So
I don't even think we have a dozen
they're
left.
probably going to be gone after today.
And then they're gone. Kelly tried to get more.
We're trying to get
and-
more right away because the first day they really sold quickly, and we tried to get more and we weren't able to. But we still, if you want one, give us a call or get online. We've still got them. And we did give our leftovers to Maggie, so we're probably going to have a mixed media
Oh, fun.
canvas or something coming
Yes.
with this. So if you've got one, and we have lots of leftovers, don't we, Diane? after
Yes,
all these
oh my
projects?
gosh,
We still
yes,
have a
we
lot.
can do lots and lots of different projects with this.
So,
have
and
fun.
I guess I don't see any other questions. Diane, that was amazing.
Thank you, everybody.
Everybody really loved it, and I love that you brought in your home decor vignette to share with
I
all
just
of
thought
us.
it'd be fun to show how this is just one that I have. I have several around my house, but I make tags and
But it inspires us
Yeah.
to use our creations that we're making.
Get them out.
Whatever
and
your
use them.
style is, your style could be different. Lori says ink green, so it was fern green is archival ink that she
Yep,
used.
and it's just a gorgeous green.
And then she, believe it or not, weathered wood. That surprised me.
Yep.
And then she used gathered twigs or whatever brown,
Yep.
your favorite brown. Carol says keep the projects coming, and that's our plan.
Yes.
Because I know a lot
yes.
of you have these, and so we want to get you inspired and get you creating. And I
Okay.
think that's it. Tomorrow,
Thank you,
Teresa's
everybody.
here. Tomorrow's Watercolor Wednesday.
Yep.
And Teresa will be back, so we'll welcome her for that. And remember, if you have signed up for Penny's Copic coloring class, to be sure and get out to the Facebook page and get signed up for there, because that's where it's all happening at. And again, thanks, Diane. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a crafty day. We're here till 7 o'clock tonight. We'd love to have you stop by if you're in the area.
Bye.